Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to Bullshift Media. Today's a little too cold to go outside and film a video with any of the cars outside, so I thought I'd take today's opportunity of it being too cold to tell you guys a story about the time I went to go get a car, one of my dream cars, and I almost died doing it. January 2021. I had recently sold my first Camaro. I was free of auto loan debt for about 3 months, and I thought, man, I'm going to be out of debt forever. This is great. And then I started looking around Marketplace like one does and realized, seeing all my friends have this cool stuff, fast cars, neat cars. It's like, man, I love these little Volkswagens that I'm driving around, but I really, really need something cool again. So I start looking for cars like 10 grand, nothing crazy, but something that's cool, fun, people like, I would like, fast if I can. I was looking at things like Audi S4s, fourth gen Camaros, as much as I don't like how they look, looking at Firebirds, even Mustangs, stuff like that. Well, something came across my mind while I was looking for these cars, and I thought, man, the Pontiac GTO, the new one, not the old ones, the Holden Monaro, not the real Pontiac GTOs as the boomers say. So I start looking on Marketplace for GTOs in my area, and nothing but shit boxes comes across. So there's nothing for sale locally that's either less than $20,000 or is in a condition that I would want to drive a car in. So I joined the Pontiac GTO for sale, buy parts, cars, whatever forum on Facebook. And I keep an eye on it for a couple weeks. A couple cars pop up, nothing serious really develops out of it. And then this car, 2005 Pontiac GTO, pops up in Virginia. Start messaging the owner and getting some information. It's got some hail damage, a little bit of rust on the front passenger side fender, but overall, perfect car. It's got some mods, long tube headers. It's got a stage 2 Texas Speed Torquer V2 cam. It's got Corsa exhaust, drag bags in the back. Looks mean other than the dents and the rust and the tears on the interior, but overall in sound mechanical condition and some mods that I would do anyway. So on a Friday night at 8 o'clock, I text my friend Zach and I said, hey, I found a GTO. What do you say you and me leave like in an hour to go get it? He's like, yep, I got nothing going on. Let's go get it. And then I told him, all right, one little thing. It's 10 hours away in Virginia. And he goes, all right, sounds good. I'll see you in half an hour. So props to Zach. He's a real one for that. Zach loads up. We hop into my car or into his car. So we leave. Okay. Again, this is January 2021 mid-January that we're going down to Virginia, leaving from Michigan. Nothing terrible. Roads are fine. It's like 45 degrees when we leave. Barely any snow even where we live. Okay. So roads are like 10 out of 10. Before we leave, we stop at a bank so I can get out a whole bunch of ones because I know there's toll roads in other states. We don't really have those in Michigan unless you're going over a bridge. So I stop at a bank, grab a whole bunch of ones, quarters, all that stuff, and then we head out. So being that it's 2021, we're coming from the state of Michigan. Something to note, in the year 2021, the state of Michigan, regardless of your politics, the state of Michigan in the year 2021, January, right at the beginning, we were one out of 50 states where bars and restaurants were still closed. All 49 other states had bars and restaurants open. So it had been almost a year since me or my friend Zach had been inside a restaurant. So we get the car, we pay the nice man, and then we're in Virginia where bars and restaurants are at, I think, half capacity for indoor dining. So we find, I think it was a Fridays, and we go in there. We enjoy our first beer and a burger inside a restaurant for almost a year. We finish up and then load back in both the cars, hit a gas station. We fill the GTO up. I'm just ecstatic that we have this thing. And we get on the road and head away. Now, let me back up a little bit. While we were talking to the guy that I bought the car from, he goes, oh, here, I'm going to send the license plate with you. Just mail it back to me when you get home. I was like, oh, don't worry about it. Michigan's not that big of a deal. Especially right now, no plate. It's not that big of a deal. Secretary of State's closed anyway, unless you have an appointment. So cops are being real lenient about the no plate thing. We'll just risk it and we'll call it good. I'll register it when I get home. He looks at me and he goes, okay. So I was like, yeah, dude, I get Virginia's Gestapo when it comes to police. No big deal in Michigan. What I didn't know or didn't realize is that the Pennsylvania Turnpike was pay by plate only. So we stop at this gas station to fill up the cars before we head on our long way home. And while I'm at the gas station, we had driven probably 60 miles because there's some gas in the tank. We hadn't quite hit the Pennsylvania Turnpike yet, but we're still in Virginia. We fill up just before we hit Pennsylvania, and I notice, oof, my tires have cords showing on the back. That's bad news, especially in January in Michigan, but, I'm like, they're probably okay to get at home. We'll just take it easy. No big deal, right? Bad decision. We get on the road, and we hit the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and I forgot Pennsylvania Turnpike is pay by plate only. So all these ones and quarters I have with me, no good. Home dog that I bought the car from telling me, hey, this car, I'm going to send you with the plate. Just mail it back to me. Would have been a great idea, because what he was trying to get me to do, to realize that Pennsylvania Turnpike, pay by plate only, he'll leave his plate on the car, he'll pay for the tolls, and then I can mail the plate back to him. That doesn't work because I decided not to take the plate with me. So instead of risking a ticket on the turnpike, me and Zach, we determine, all right, let's take a back road. I set my GPS for avoid toll roads, and we set course through the back hills of Maryland, Pennsylvania, and up into Ohio to avoid the turnpike. We're at this point an hour into the drive, completely lost in the mountains and the back roads of rural Pennsylvania, and it starts snowing. Remember, my tires are cords. This GTO that I'm driving is somewhere between 400 and 500 rear wheel horsepower, cammed out to all hell. And it starts to snow. Something you should know is that I'm a snowplow driver, and I have driven through every blizzard, every snow event, every single time it has snowed in the state of Michigan. I've been driving through the entire thing for the last 10 or 12 years, okay? So I'm a snowplow operator, driven through all the storms for the last 10 or 12 years. It starts snowing, and it starts snowing hard. And again, I'm on cords in this car. I start to get nervous, to the point where we're driving 30, maybe 40 miles an hour on this 4-lane freeway through Pennsylvania. And just 30 or 40 miles an hour in this snowstorm, my rear end is fishtailing really bad through this snowstorm. So we're driving through this for about an hour, 2 hours, somewhere in there. Finally find an exit with a gas station, and I tell Zach, we got to pull over. We both need gas, and I need a break. Let's see if we can wait this snowstorm out, or at least check to see what we're doing. Because I'm not on my phone at all. We're driving through this, and I am like white knuckle. This thing is all over the place. So we pull over. I check my phone, and the radar just shows, till we get to basically Toledo, from where we are in Pennsylvania, we're going to be dealing with snow. So go back to GPS, get back in the cars, we fill up, we get a cup of coffee, and we head back on the road. Well, we get up through into Ohio. The snow picks up. So we're in Ohio, and this car that's on cords is, this whole time we're going 35, maybe 40 miles an hour if there's a break in the snow. But there's probably 3 inches on the ground in Ohio, and my back end is going like this. At one point, we're on the road in Ohio, and for whatever reason, the car goes like this in the middle of the freeway. Luckily, it's the middle of the night. There's nobody around. But I did a full, 1080, 360 4 times over, and middle of the freeway. Thank God I didn't hit anything, didn't hit anyone. Car was okay. We were going so slow and no one was around, that it was fine. But that really was the nail in the coffin, that I was like, oh man, almost died there. We're going to be okay. So we take 5 or 10 minutes to kind of reset, check the car over, make sure nothing broke. And we reset, and we get on the road, and we keep going. Finally, we hit Toledo, and the roads are dry. It's still cold, but the roads are dry. There's no snow. We're past the weather, and I can finally hit it through Toledo, Ohio. There's nobody on the road. There's some overpasses that'll provide some echo. There's no snow. Hit Zach on the radio, say, hey, I'm going to hit it here. I'll slow down once I get through it. Because to this point, I hadn't been able to hit the gas pedal in my new race car, and I was really excited to do so. So I hit this gas pedal, and it's magnificent. Only thing I can say, it was like amazing. So I hit it. Zach sends me, dude, that sounded amazing. And we keep going. At this point, we get through Detroit. We hop on the highway back to Grand Rapids, and I look at my phone, and I'm like, holy crap, we have been driving for 16 hours. I finally get the car home. It's like 4 in the morning. I parked it, went to bed, wake up the next morning at around 11 in the morning, text Zach, hey, thank you so much for the last minute ride and adventure, and appreciate you just clearing everything that's going on to help me go get this piece of shit Pontiac. Well, the first thing I did was I woke up, drove the car to the tire shop immediately, and paid a whole bunch of money to get 4 brand new Nitto tires put on all 4 corners. Because I was like, that trip was the worst thing I've ever done. I feel like I almost died when we did the spin out, and it's amazing that I made it home in one piece. So I get the new tires on, and the car is great. I enjoy it for about a month, just going around town, going to meets, going to shows, driving it to work. And there was this Camaro that I had beaten with my previous car, which was also a Camaro of the same year. And I race him, and somehow he beat me. So at this point, immediately I go, it's time to upgrade the car. I mean, I've had this car maybe 3 weeks, okay? First month I've had it, time to upgrade it. So I bring the car to my shop that I prefer in town and said, hey, I want to do a nitrous build, and I want to do it right, so let's upgrade the fueling system. Let's upgrade the fuel pump. Let's upgrade the injectors. Let's do a progressive controller. Let's do a bottle heater. Let's do a wet kit. With the whole 9. Spent a whole bunch of money on a bottle heater, all the piping, the plumbing, the electronics, the progressive controller, the fueling system upgrades, everything, right? And then I take it to my tuning shop. I have them tune it all in. The car runs phenomenal. I think what I did was like 175 shot, full wet kit, ramps up to it. It was a wet shot, so with the progressive controller and the wet shot, I was like, more fuel, the fueling systems have been upgraded. I was like, this is a safe place to be, because I know a couple guys in the forums that have run 250 shots dry. Their cars are fine. Like this LS2 that's had upgraded internals, it's cammed, it's gonna handle a 175 progressive wet shot. Well, I run the car for probably a month, re-raced the Camaro that I lost to, and blow his doors off. I mean, just tore him up, not even close. I raced a late model CTSV and kept up with him. Didn't really win the race. I mean, he beat me by maybe a whisker. It was cammed out, it was modified, and it was the CTSV. I think it was a pulley blower, or I think it was a pulley bolt-ons car. So it was making a lot more power than I ever could from an old GTO, and I almost won. You know, we kept up neck and neck for probably 2 miles in a road race. Raced a couple other things, drove the car once in a while, but I kind of fell out of love with the car after a while. You know, I'm a manual purist, and against my best judgment, this car was an automatic. I will accept shame and cyberbullying in the comments for doing so. Never will happen again. After a while, the car started getting kind of boring to me, so I had won the race that I really wanted to race and spent all this extra money on top of the price of the car to get. And I said, all right, I got my eyes set on something else, time to list the car. So I got a little bit aggressive. I put the car up for $14,000, which honestly it was probably a $12,000 car, but like I said, in Michigan, I couldn't find anything that was what this car was. So I thought, let's see what $14,000 does in the state of Michigan. Might be a little high for what the car is and for what I bought it for, but we'll see. So the car is listed for 2-3 weeks. I get a couple messages, nobody's really serious, and I lower the price to $13,500. A couple weeks go by, I lower it to $13,000, so on and so forth, till I hit about $12,000 on my ask price. Still, I mean, I'm getting messages, but nothing super serious. I was still driving the car. I wasn't beating on it at this point. You know, once in a while, hit the gas, but really not spraying too much. That works out to about 70, 80 bucks a bottle. And each hit costs you 10 bucks. So I try not to hit the nitrous too much unless I really need it to win a race or humble somebody that thinks they're a big boy in their Camaro or Mustang or whatever. Well, I take it to the local spot on a Friday night, and somebody that I would say I'm not necessarily friends with, but I'm friendly with. We know each other, and we see each other at mutual local car events. So he comes up to me, and we start talking and chatting. He tells me the story about how he went to look at a GTO today. He's got a check in his hand for $10,500, and the guy that had the GTO lied to him over the phone, and the car was not what he was expecting, didn't run right, didn't shift very good, and he decided not to buy the car. So I said, well, dude, we know each other. I've had this car for sale for probably a month at this point. I haven't sold it yet. You bring me, since we're friendly, you bring me 10.5, I'll give you this car tomorrow. Well, he says, oh, I hadn't considered that. All right. So we take it for a test drive that night, and he's loving the car. I said, hey, hit the nitrous. Here's how you do it. You arm it like this. First thing you got to do is warm the bottle up, and then with the progressive controller, you arm it, and all you do is once you arm it, you hit it. It's tuned for the nitrous, so basically once it hits 3,000 RPMs, that's when it starts to spray, and it increases the spray as the RPMs go up. We go for a test drive, and we just beat the crap out of this car for probably 30 minutes. Back and forth, up and down the highway. Next morning comes around, I go into my shop, I just start working on a car. He calls me, he says, hey, I want the car, half an hour, 45 minutes, I'll probably be able to get you a check for it, just gotta stop at the bank. At this point, I told him, sweet, hey, I still owe a little bit of money on the car, so you're gonna have to meet me at my bank, which is right by your bank, and we'll do the deal in the bank and make sure everything's above board. We'll give them the check, we'll cash out everything, pay the loan off, get you the title, and we'll call it a done deal. So we get this all done, and he's loving the car, tears off with it, and I've got a couple, few $1,000 in my pocket from the sale. Didn't really make money because I spent like $4,000 on the nitrous stuff, the nitrous and fueling and the tunes and the labor and all that, the parts. So didn't really make money, even though I bought the car for whatever and sold it for a few bucks more. In my mind at the time, I was like, hey, I made money on this car. So he drives the car for 4 hours. And I get a call from our mutual buddy about 1 in the afternoon. Bro, he just blew the car up. We're on the side of the highway. I was like, quit messing with me, guys. I know you're just trying to screw with me. I hope you're having fun with the car, but good job. Yeah, you really got me for a second, but good job. And he goes, no, he actually just blew the car up. There's oil all over the highway. So I quick hop in my daily, the only other car I had at the time, and I bomb it down to the highway in the intersection where they said they were at. The car had oil all over the highway, and we started it, and it just sounded miserable. And I looked at the pictures that he sent me the next day once the engine came out. There was 2 self-installed piston inspection windows. I mean, you could look at the side of the block and see clear through to the other side. So I told him, listen, I feel really bad that the car blew up on the same day that you bought it. Look, you paid off my loan. You took a loan out to buy the car. Yeah, I had a couple thousand in profit that I took. I was like, I can't give you all the money back for the car, but I'm willing to give you like $1,000 just to get you started on the engine rebuild, because I feel super bad about it. He was a real one. He said, I can't take it. I really know. I understand totally. I test drove the car. It wasn't making any weird noises. It ran great. Everything we looked at was on top. I really don't want to take your $1,000. And I told him, listen, think about it. Take the day to kind of gather yourself. I know this is a real bad day for you. Just take the day. Think about it. I want you to take the $1,000, and because I feel bad, do it as a favor to me. I feel bad. Take the $1,000 just to get you started on the car. So he calls me the next day, Sunday. He says, hey, talked with a couple people I trust. I've calmed down a little bit from the events of yesterday. I think I'm going to take the $1,000 if it's still available. just to get me started. And I said, yes, dude, come by. We'll give you the cash. Now, the lucky part was there were so many A1 parts on this car that he could probably have parted it out for what he owed on it. And unfortunately, I don't know what happened to the car, if he ever got it running, if the car is somewhere in the Michigan, or if it's still driving around, or if he ever got it fixed, or if he sold it, what happened to it. Unfortunately, the end of the story is kind of there. I gave him his $1,000 back, we parted ways, and that was it. I wish I had a better conclusion to the story, but that was the time that I found a GTO. I drove 8 hours to get it, bought it, and then drove 16 hours back home. Almost died bringing it home. Had it for 6 months, made it faster, sold it to somebody that I called a friend at the time, and then it blew up on the same day that I bought it. Thank you for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the story, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I'm trying to bring this channel back. In the next video, I think we're going to either do tinting the windows on the Tacoma out front, or we're going to talk about the best car that I ever owned and why I would recommend you buy it. Let me know in the comments which video you want to watch, whether it's tinting the windows on the Tacoma at my friend's shop, or if you want to hear about the time that I bought a car and it was the best car that I ever owned and it's something I regret selling. Again, thank you for watching the video, and this is Bullshift Media signing out.